Alright, welcome back to the channel, you all. Today, it's kind of a dreary day, so we're not going to really be doing much outdoors, but what we are going to do is we're going to head up to around Dayton, and we're going to go to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. The Museum of the United States Air Force is there, and I believe, if I'm not wrong, I believe it's the second largest airplane museum in the country. So we're gonna go hit that up, and we're gonna go check out some airplanes. You guys excited?
Yes.
All right. So we got about an hour. We got about an hour drive. So we're gonna get to it.
Yes. That's what I want you to do.
I think I remember seeing that in one of the movies where Iron Man goes into, it's like a giant Iron Man suit, and then he goes in there, and that way he can fight the Hulk. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a pretty cool suit, huh?
A Lego shop.
We got some leaves changing. Got some more leaves changing colors, guys. Yeah.
Oh, it's like we're in a magical
Yeah. All right, scenic drive is over. Now we're on a highway, and it's semi trucks, but I guess there is still a little bit of scenery to be seen here. Not too bad. There's lots more cars too. Anything, bud? Bit of sunlight peeking through. Those pretty leaves over there, guys. Lots of fall colors coming through. Oh man, this would be a really, if it were sunny, it would definitely be a good day for a hike, huh, Mookie? How you doing back there, bub? Doing all right?
Yeah.
All right. We got about. We got about 30 minutes left to drive.
What?
Yeah, not long.
So we've been serious. We've been driving basically for 30 minutes.
Yep, we've been driving 30 minutes, and now we've got about 30 minutes left. Sound good?
No, because 30 minutes plus 30 minutes equals an hour, and also trying to do some good subs.
Yeah, better than 4 hours, bub. About 7 miles left, bub. Just outside of Dayton, so we got about 7 miles left. Then we will be to the museum. Alright. Ah, this thing took forever to turn the sign on. But we're almost there, guys. We missed the little sign. I was gonna try and record it. You see the airplane, guys? We're here. It's a big airplane over there sticking out of the ground. I don't know if that's an X-1.
It probably crashed.
There it is, the National Museum of the United States Air Force.
I saw a white star on it with a blue circle surrounding it.
Yeah, that's one of the insignia for the United States. So all of the airplanes from our country will have that emblem on them, depending on what year they were.
I see it. I see the airport museum over there.
Yeah, there it is. A lot of airplanes parked on the ground there, huh?
Yeah, there's tons of them.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll get to go into those ones there. Those ones are definitely mothballed, but I think they're just there for decoration. Oh, I see an F-15 over there. I see an A-10 Warthog. Yeah. They probably could be if they fixed them up or something.
I see a bomb dropper.
Oh yeah, bomber plane. Yeah.
Yeah, I did see the bomber plane. Oh my gosh, it's a jet! It's a jet!
Yeah, it's a big jet right there, huh?
You know why the airplane museum is so big and so...
Looks like an F-15.
Yeah, because there's airplanes in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
see our flag, Bob? All right, well, we made it here, guys. About an hour drive, so not too bad. Right, we're outside of the parking lot. There's actually this this little area here. It's a bunch of different memorials for all the different squadrons and pilots and stuff over the years. Yeah, it's like, this is just right outside of the museum itself, so it's really pretty. It's a really pretty park, and especially this time of year, the leaves are all changing colors.
Look at this, it's a little gun up here.
Yeah, but that's the turret gunner, the top turret gunner.
Any bombs buried?
So that looks like a B-24. I think, is that a, or B? I'm sorry, a B-25. Yeah.
Well, look at that.
Yeah, those are all the different squadrons that flew in these airplanes, and that's their little insignia there.
I saw an eagle one.
Yeah, but everything here has some is dedicated to someone or something, so it's pretty neat.
Oh, it's right up.
The Blackjack Squadron, 341st Fighter Squadron, yeah, Pacific Theater, World War II. It's a little chilly out here today, huh? Breeze. Should probably zip mine up.
I wish I wore my jacket. I
wonder who this.
My water bottle.
We should go read this. We should go read this one over here.
After we read all these,
Look at this guy.
straight inside of me.
Yeah, we're gonna go, and I just wanted to look and see who this buddy is.
This was one of the plane
Oh, the river rats, huh?
This is one of the plane drivers.
Yeah.
Do not stand on
These are these.
There's a dead person.
The river rats used to do things during Vietnam.
That dead person is buried.
No, no, there's no dead person buried there.
Aww.
They're your hands are freezing.
Well, sister, wait for us. You're gonna get lost.
That's her regulator right there. He keeps her in line. So since we're technically on an Air Force base, government property, it's almost like going through an airport when you go inside. So there's a security check, and they, will look through your bags and all that. But the museum's super cool. There's so much stuff here, and it's totally free. They do take donations, but outside of that, there's a cafeteria inside. So the food's like whatever cafeteria food, but you can eat within the museum itself if you're not ready to leave yet. And I think maybe they have some different little special shows that they might charge for, but overall, just to go and see all the exhibits, see all the airplanes and everything, it's totally free. So it's a good thing to take, a good spot to take the family. These are pretty cool bomber jackets here. Oh, all sorts of interesting bomber jackets.
Fake. Fake.
Yeah, look at these guys.
These people look real, but they're
See, that's what they used to. This is what they used to fly in World War I. Because when they'd be up there, when they would be up in the, they are, but the uniforms are originals.
No, your hair looks real.
Yeah, these are pretty cool. All right, let's go this way. Well, let's come back down this way over here.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah, there's all sorts of interesting stuff in here, huh? Yeah, that's definitely our flag. Looks like those guys all went over and they
Signed it?
signed it, yeah. Pretty neat.
There's a bomb.
I know, there's airplanes hanging on the ceiling. Yeah. All sorts of nifty stuff in here.
Big hot air balloon.
What's that, babe?
Remember that big hot air balloon?
Yeah, there used to be a Zeppelin in here, but I don't know, it seems like they've moved it or taken it off. Yeah, there's the Wright brothers plane.
I think that's real dust. And it is fake.
Oh, they probably put a little bit of dirt there to kind of make it a little more realistic looking and how it would look back then. Lots of cool stuff. Alright, we got a little bit of pre-war stuff here. Pre-World War II stuff. I think this is a, this looks like a Spitfire, but I'm not sure if that's right. So one of the trainer planes here. Yeah, that guy crashed that trainer plane. He's getting yelled at by the ground control guy. And these two mechanics are they're irritated. Yeah, it says it's a BT-14, so it's a trainer.
This way. You got my mama.
Favorite types of airplanes.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
SG-38. Well, that's a very rare one.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite types.
Is that one of your favorite types, Bub?
Even that one.
Oh, you see the bombs?
Whoa.
Those are pretty neat, huh?
Did we blow them up? No.
What's that?
We blow those bombs up.
No, those are disarmed, honey.
That's one of my favorite ones up there.
Yeah, P-26A here.
That's
Which
one of
one?
my favorite ones.
Oh, up on hanging from the ceiling? Yeah, it's from the U.S. Army.
That's one of my favorites, and that's also one of my favorites.
Yeah, it sounds like all of them are your favorites, buddy.
No, only some.
Yeah.
That one's my favorite. That's one of the best favorites. And this
See this little guy? This is what an ambulance, the ambulances they used on at the little airports. It's an old Ford Model T. So if a plane crashed, this is the little ambulance that would go out there and get the pilot and make sure he was okay. What you see? See something interesting?
yes.
Oh, yes. A little miniature little buddies. So those are airplanes that can land on the water. They have the floats on the bottom of them instead of wheels.
And there's a turret.
Yeah,
That was
pretty neat.
Oh, look it. It's an airplane.
Pilot Neil Armstrong.
This is my favorite
You know,
airplane.
Neil Armstrong, he was from, this is their Gemini capsule here when they went up on the Gemini mission.
Bruh.
Here's a little trainer plane that he probably used.
The airplane.
All right, there we go.
I feel like we're like,
Yeah, we're getting into the World War II stuff now. Pretty cool stuff.
really?
Yeah, the Douglas B-18A. So, watch where we going, bub. Over here we got
That's one
a
of my
Zero.
favorites. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's a Mitsubishi A6M20. They were really lightly armored, so they were easy to shoot, so they couldn't take a lot of damage, but they were super maneuverable, and they could outmaneuver just about any enemy airplane up there. This was one of the ones that the Japanese used.
Daddy, where are we going?
Yeah, this is a B-25, B-25 Mitchell.
Where do we go up here?
You can walk up here and look in here if you want. Yeah, just got to stay right inside of the chained area here. So pretty neat. I don't know, it's kind of dark in there, so you probably won't be able to see in the window at all.
Is that illegal to show you? Yes.
Yeah, see these little buddies? They're mounting up bombs down in here, getting ready to hook the bombs up so they can fly away and drop bombs on people.
It has tons of bullets on it.
Yeah, that's these all these red boxes here. These are all 50 caliber ammunition. They would load up all these airplanes, you know, with all this ammunition, all these guns.
Oh yeah, they have little bullets in it. Okay.
Yeah, P-40 Warhawk. So those are the ones that they called the Flying Tigers.
A shark.
So yeah, there we go. There's the old Flying Tigers flag right there. That's an original too. Burma 41, China 42.
I'm just
So, yeah.
laying on this.
So when the war first started out, before the United States was at war with Japan, a lot of American volunteers went over to China to assist them, and that's where the Flying Tigers made their start. It wasn't long before they entered into the war. The United States entered into the war. and all those flying Tigers came back and started flying for the United States. 74th Fighter Squadron. Those are the flying Tigers. You can see they're a little aggressive on the Japanese flag there. Oh, that's a red airplane, huh? We had to hit the B-24 Liberator here from a different angle because there was a swear word on it, huh, Lennon? So the art that these the nose art that they used to draw, that the crew would paint on the sides of these, some of it could get a little racy. There's a swear word on this guy. There's the ball turret gunner.
Daddy, is this the B-17?
This is one of the most. This is the B-17, Bub. You got a B-17F.
That is
So
so
there's the bomb bay doors here, right underneath.
And then, like, while the airplane's flying, they would drop the bombs down and then they would...
B-17s were pretty revolutionary during the war. They could fly so high. Really, one of the first planes that could actually do that. They would fly so high that it was difficult at first for a lot of the German or even Japanese anti-aircraft to hit them. So the Axis really had to go through and really up their anti-aircraft game. This particular B-17 right here is the Memphis Belle, and this is the original restored aircraft. So this is the actual one that flew over Germany and did that dramatic bomb mission. Once that mission was over, the crew and the plane came home, and then they toured around the country, trying to drum up money for war bond drives and whatnot. But this is the original aircraft, so pretty cool.
Daddy, after that point...
We were just talking about the ball turret gunner. So it's probably the most cramped, quarters in the entire airplane. But my wife, her great uncle, he was a ball turret gunner. He was a short fella. It was so cramped in there, but it was all pneumatically driven. So you were in a lot of trouble if the pneumatic system was shot up and didn't work. And the trigger for the guns was actually on the ground, and you stepped on it, and that would set off the guns. There's the tail gunner for the Memphis Belle. One of the most important spots on the plane, really. They called it a flying fortress because it had a tail gunner, had a belly gunner, had a top turret gunner, had guns in the front, had two, and then guns on both sides. All 50 cals. And for enemy airplane coming in, if you weren't real careful and you didn't really know, there wasn't very many areas on these planes that weren't completely covered with a 50 cal. So you could get chewed up really, really quickly if you approach these things haphazardly. This is a German 88 millimeter gun. This is pretty much the most dreaded anti-aircraft or just overall gun of the entire war. The 88 could actually, we were talking a minute ago about how high those B-17s could fly. Well, the German 88 was one that could actually reach them way up there, like 20, 25, 30,000 feet. So these were, nobody was happy to know that these guns were going to be bearing down on them when they were going to be doing bombing runs. What's up, Bob? Yep, Flak 88. There we go. There's the Mark V Spitfire. Pretty sweet. A Spitfire.
Spitfire?
Yeah. Oh, there's a good shot of the Belle.
Spitfire? fighter.
Alright, yep, and over here we got an A36. This is basically an early Mustang. Yeah. One of the early versions of the A36A, North American A36A Mustang. So this is when planes started getting really, really fast. Started sticking really big engines in them. Alright, German BF 109. So these were one of the more feared fighters that they had, and this is the one I believe that the Germans used most, produced the most of. Alright, and over here we got a P-38 Lightning. This was one of Daddy's favorite airplanes when I was little. Super cool. Yeah, just two powerful engines, these things, and they were, for their size and for what they were very, very maneuverable. Yeah, this is a paratrooper plane. Alright, the other neat thing is if we look up above here, there's one of the gliders that they actually towed in on D-Day. But yeah, this is a paratrooper plane. If we kind of walk on over here, Bubba, I don't remember what I believe, it might be I don't think it was a C-130. I don't know, it was one of the C's. I don't quite remember. But yeah, see all the paratroopers? This is what they dressed in right here. See, they put all their equipment on themselves.
It is on his face.
They put black on his face so that he would blend in with the night. See, and then they would all load into the airplane, and then when they got over where they were supposed to jump out, then they would jump out. And they were usually towing these big gliders behind them on D-Day. So pretty neat. A German V2 missile here. One of the very first, the V1 and V2, they were the very first cruise missiles that were ever invented. Kind of jump-started us, the entire world, into the rocket age. Imagine one of those falling on your house in London. Yeah, probably the most iconic airplane of World War II. P-51, the North American P-51 Mustang. They were beautiful, beautiful planes. Until jet aircraft came along, the P-51 was, kind of held the record for being the fastest plane available, and typically they flew escort for the bomber runs. And they'd outmatch any German plane until they brought in the 262s, the jet airplanes. Yeah, C-47 Skytrain. I knew it was one of the C's. I kept wanting to say C-130, but that was absolutely incorrect. C-130s are more modern day, but that's the airborne plane. They just use these pretty much for just dropping airborne troops. There's a German buzz bomb down there, another unmanned thing. I believe these ones they actually dropped from aircraft, and then they would take off and they'd fly high in the sky, and then when the engine cut off, they would buzz the whole way down. And it was pretty much psychological warfare as much as it was anything else, because when people in London were hear those noises from that thing falling, everybody would hit the dirt. So it was an old Junkers bomber. Yeah, there we go. Me-262, first jet fighter. Yeah, Focke-Wulf 109. It's another German fighter plane. Well, P-47. So these are one of the carrier-based planes. They would just they could take so much damage that they were really, really key in gaining air superiority over Japan and over the Pacific in general. Douglas A-20G Havoc. I actually know absolutely nothing about this plane. I've never heard of. I'm maybe if I dug into the recesses of my mind, but I don't recall anything from this. It's obviously some kind of mid-sized bomber plane. So, but yeah.
This is the one
Gonna start here in a second.
Lieutenant, thanks for
Oh,
joining.
Lieutenant Lemon? All right.
The fellows with the 14th Air Force and Kunming and the Chinese forces there are counting on us to deliver supplies.
All right, you got it, Trev. There you go. Let's take off. Sweet.
Lieutenant,
Flying. Good job.
you definitely showed your stuff
That was a tough one.
and safely delivered the supplies to the Allied forces.
Good job, Monkey.
High
five.
Anytime.
I do it again, so I can like try and get it better next time.
Well, we can try it one more time, and then we gotta let other people use it.
Congratulations, Lieutenant. That was a tough one.
Good job, buddy.
You definitely showed your stuff
High five.
and safely delivered the supplies to the Allied forces. in
Mission
China.
accomplished,
I'll
pal.
fly with you anytime.
Bye.
There you go. You got it, girl. You got it.
Yes, I got it right. Yes.
All right. So the B-29 Super Fortress. So the B-29 Super Fortress, the B-29s all kind of came out towards the tail end of the war. Here, bub, take your water. It was the first plane that had a pressurized cabin, so it actually allowed crews to get higher than any other plane in the entire war. In this particular one here, Boxcar, it was the one that dropped the second atomic bomb on Japan in Nagasaki. So this is the original airplane. This is the original plane.
Daddy, the bomb dropped on Japan.
Yep. So this, I believe that this one here, Little Boy, was the second one. So this is the one that Boxcar actually dropped. And then over here we've got, they call this one Fat Man. This is the one that the Enola Gay dropped on Hiroshima. So it's always cool seeing these old aircraft. Just the history behind them, knowing that this, 80 years ago was flying over Japan on its way to cause an immense amount of destruction. So it's the horrors of war, and so they're really sobering. But at the same time, it is still neat to be able to see and touch these historical aircraft. So. All right, let's see. Let's go over here, guys. Yeah.
Now where's Arctic Baby?
All right, this one right here. It's one of the Japanese kamikaze planes. So they would drop this out of an airplane, and then the pilot would fly it into a target. It's basically a flying bomb. It would blow up, killing the pilot, and hopefully doing damage to whatever he was aiming at.
That's a flying bomb.
Yeah, it's a flying bomb. The guy who got into that knew he was going to die. He was going to fly that bomb right into something. One of those bomber jackets. It's cool. These are all originals. The families of these pilots, they would donate these to, once their relative passed away, they would donate their jackets to the museum here. So it's pretty neat. All right. So Korea's that way, Vietnam's that way. Oh, more airplanes, guys. Pretty neat. There's kind of a big line right now. Yeah, it's a C-124. So some of these things, I have no idea how they managed these things manage to fly, Pretty neat. You can go inside and look at a.
Oh, this.
Well, I'm gonna go with you, so just go on in. All right. Looks like it.
Watch your head.
Oh, it is cramped in here.
Not to me.
Yeah, this is looks like it's a B29.
Oh, look, it's the crew tunnel. I think they would go through that.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah, crew tunnel. Oh yeah, there's so they could crawl over the top of all these bombs.
The bomb. No.
Oof. Yeah, those are some big bombs.
And they have those in front of them so they can
Ooh.
go in, right?
These things were certainly not made for taller people here. Oof. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna stretch out a little bit now. Pretty neat. Yeah, it's inside of a B-29. Oh, a little Chickasaw helicopter. That thing looks like doesn't look very stable. I don't know if I'd want to get in that helicopter. Not quite as comfortable as the ones in the airplanes that we fly now, huh? Yeah, they pretty much do anything to save weight in these guys. Pretty neat. What do you think, Bob? Okay, watch out, Mike. Let him get the picture. Alright, an F-80 shooting star there. Yeah, so we're getting into the Korea section here of all this. There you go. Some old modified Mustang there. That's to let air in, Bubba. Yeah. F-82G. Almost looks like it's pretty much a twin Mustang, dual Mustangs. That'd be interesting. I wonder who was allowed to steer. Yeah. There's an old Soviet MiG, so the North Koreans, they were using these that they got from the Soviet Union during the Korean War. Over here we have a Sabre. Those are pretty neat. Oh, lots of cool. There's an old Starfire there. Over here we got an old Thunderjet. 58th Air Wing here. Very neat. I wonder if we can stretch this out a little bit and see if we can get a look in there at all. Yeah, probably not very much. I need a longer tripod. And we got an F-22 in here. Pretty sweet. Look at that giant B-52 there. What a huge airplane. Oh my goodness. So yeah, the B-52s, they were the ones just carrying immense loads of bombs, and they would just absolutely just completely obliterate parts, huge swaths of jungle and wherever else they were targeting in Vietnam. So I'm not sure if they were in the Korean War or not, but they definitely played a huge role. This plane just goes on forever, and it's almost as tall as this giant, almost as tall as the giant hangar that we're in. It's an F-105. These were neat because they had a gun load on them, as well as they could carry missiles. Well, it's old A7 Corsair 2, I think. These are pretty neat. All right. Ooh, look at that. A lot of buttons in there, huh, Bob? That's how you steer it.
Two hands.
Yeah, usually you'd steer with two hands. Yeah.
And then you do this and
Yeah, pretty cool. You ready to fly the airplane? Alright, can we close this hatch on you?
No.
Leave you here?
No.
No? Come on. Where's their sense of adventure? Whoa. Imagine flying this thing and getting shot at the whole time. So that was like a replica cockpit of this A7D Corsair 2. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the A7 was the first real plane to go up that didn't have guns on it. So it didn't actually have, you know, small arms like a 50 cal or whatnot. It was reliant totally on a missile load. So a lot of pilots didn't really know what to do with that because they were used to having the option between firing missiles or using their guns as a last resort. So,
I found the missiles.
yep, and then speaking of missiles, there's a lot of them. Not sure. That one over there with the yellow, that might be a Sparrow. I'm not sure. Yeah, the F4C Phantom. This is another one of Daddy's favorite planes when I was growing up. I actually had a model F4 that I had hung from my ceiling in my room. So I always thought it was a cool airplane.
No, it's just can't do that.
Yeah, MiG-17 here. Pretty neat. An A1H Sky Raider. I believe this is pretty much the last prop plane that saw combat. Because they used it all the way through Vietnam. They would generally, send it into generally safe areas where it would drop, chemicals, where it would drop napalm. It could absorb a lot of damage, but it wasn't very fast at all. And especially if there were enemy air force around, these things wouldn't last long unless they had some friendly planes taking care of them. Yeah. The Bell UH-1, so everybody else, more commonly known as the Huey. So that pretty much kept the Vietnam War going. Kept that was the modern day cavalry back in Vietnam. We stopped using horses and instead we started using helicopters. So Air Cav, Gary Owen. Well, it's an old bird dog up there. Not much different than like a civilian plane today, but the bird dogs, they would they'd have them floating around higher up on the battlefield, kind of keeping track of troop movements, telling ground troops where to go, where they were seeing action. So yeah. Inside of a cockpit of a B-52. Oh heavens, look at all those buttons and dials and gauges and everything else.
I'm up here.
Yep, you're up there. Why don't you move out of the way so your brother can take a look here. Gosh, and every single one of those buttons has a purpose too. There's no way I could ever remember all that. I put the kids on one of those simulator rides. We'll see if Lennon loses her lunch here.
Daddy, I'm starving now.
Oh, now you're starving now that you've been on the ride.
You should have let me hold the camera.
Oh, well, it's okay. Do you guys want to eat right now, or do you want to wait a little while longer?
I want to eat right now.
Okay, I guess we're gonna go eat then. All right. What's that, buddy?
Do you know where the cafeteria is?
Yeah, I think we got to go up an elevator or up some stairs.
I pinned it on me.
Yeah, got it.
I'm a captain. I got you, little captain.
All right, we'll get yours attached when we get here, Bob. Just a cozy elevator.
So look.
That's a death trap for them too.
Oh,
That look right?
yeah, death trap.
Yeah, like holes. This or court that.
How's your salad, girl?
Wow.
Good.
Yeah. All right. We got round little tummies.
Wait,
We are ready.
we can eat over here.
We are ready to go
Not eat over here.
and resume our tour. Oh, here we go. There's bathrooms right here, guys.
We both pushed it.
You guys pushed it. All right, good job, guys.
What does this mean?
All right, down we
This
go.
means one.
Yeah, we've been all over here. Been in here a couple hours. We haven't even seen half of this place yet, so still a lot more to see. We're gonna go check out and see if we can find some space stuff and maybe some more little cockpits to sit in. So hopefully we'll find something cool here. Frank Luke Jr., Shrine 1975. So for all my Arizona peeps, Frank Luke Jr., he was shot down and killed during World War I. He was an Arizona native, and that's who they've named Luke Air Force Base after. So Frank Luke Jr. All right, guys, we're heading into the Cold War gallery. Are you ready?
What, is this the space section?
It'll be close to the space section, but these are going to be more airplanes in here. So this is the Cold War gallery.
This is so nice. It's like in the
Yeah.
Disney World thing.
This is kind of a East and West Germany type thing. They're doing the thing with the Berlin airlift. So see this little kid climbing up there to get that parachute, bub? In 1948, the Soviets decided to close off West Berlin and all the supplies getting to it. So the United States and the other countries around, they started sending in supplies so the people in Western Germany wouldn't starve, or West Berlin. All right, it's an old school radio receiver there.
Looks like a
This
spy.
car almost looks like a spaceship.
I would want to go in the
Yeah, that's pretty cool, huh?
spy car.
Yeah, come on. Look at that. Got some more airplanes here. Let's go over this way, guys. Oh, look, another one for you guys to get in. Okay. All right, we'll go over here and you guys can check out this other cockpit here. Oh, looks pretty cool, Bob. Look at all those buttons in there. Oh man, a lot of buttons.
Maybe we go find another one. You want to go find the other one?
I'm not even sure which one this is. Hey, you're not supposed to fight over the airplane when you're flying it. That's how you cash. An FB 111A. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that is. This actually is the crew escape module for one that crashed near Pease Air Force Base. Yeah, pretty cool. So this is an actual one. So it doesn't eject the seats out, it just detaches this entire crew module, and then that parachutes to the ground. That's pretty interesting. We got the Flying V here, the stealth fighter. It's pretty interesting. All right.
Okay, now
You guys ready to go check out some more airplanes?
we're going up more. Okay, we're landing.
Good job, guys. Good landing. Got an F-16 here. I was gonna say, yeah, okay. So it's one of the Thunderbirds. All right. So if you've ever been to an Air Force, what do they call them? One of the little air shows. The Thunderbirds they're the Air Force's version of it. I'm not sure if they're still using F-16s anymore, but they used to. So when I was a little kid, I remember going to some air shows and the Thunderbirds would show up and do all the tricks and stuff in the sky. If you go to the Navy ones, I believe they have the Blue Angels.
And then it goes up and minute shots.
Pretty cool. It's a lot of buttons in there, Bob. Can you tell me what all they do?
I do not know what all of
No?
them do. There's room for
Yeah,
two
it'll be a
people.
little bit cramped, I'd think. Oh, this one doesn't have nearly as many buttons as a lot of those other ones did, huh?
Really? Come look.
Yeah,
Just to push over these.
very interesting.
Whoa, this has much tons more things than
Oh, well, a lot of buttons.
These are for
Buttons
I'm
everywhere.
gonna put my
Pretty cool.
oxygen. There's oxygen.
Yeah. All right, Bob, you got a whole lot. Good deal.
How are you doing that?
These little cockpits are like a little kid's dream. There's just buttons all over the place and all sorts of things to little levers and gadgets and colorful dials and gauges. It's just, this is right up their alley. Take a look at this guy. Wow, the A-10 Thunderbolt. There's a 30mm Vulcan. Pretty neat. Got a full missile loadout here. Pretty cool. Well, I'm not sure what this guy is. Pretty neat though. Alright. Got some drones. We got a big old helicopter. Some big, some deuce. Oh. What'd you find, bub? Oh, did they close this one? Aw, well, stink. Oh, they closed it, huh? That's okay. Let's go see if we can find another one, bub. I think maybe that's just one you're supposed to look inside of and not really supposed to get into. Yeah.
Wait, that one, I'm pretty.
Now another stealth fighter here. Pretty neat. So, I remember when this thing came out and was the shiniest, coolest, newest thing in the world, and not anymore now. I don't even know that they use these F117s. So, they're pretty much archaic with the modern day technology anymore. Wall. So there's the Free West.
Daddy, that can have two people.
And there was the Soviets built a giant wall to keep people from leaving.
Oh, more than two people can go in that one.
Yeah.
3 people can, and there's 3.
There's some actual artwork from the chunks of the Berlin Wall.
No,
Well, I'm not going to go back in there. It says this is more made for kids. So, well, yeah.
Okay, Trev, next your section.
All right, Trev, you're the pilot. You're responsible. You got to get this thing up in the air and get it landed.
But there's controllers here too.
Yeah, well, oh yeah, there is. But usually the guy in front is the pilot. You're sort of the backup. What you usually do is make sure that communication is working. Yeah. Check the radar. Keep the weapon systems up and going.
I don't know
Pretty
how
neat.
to
This
do
is
all
yeah. Lots of buttons, huh?
Nice hood.
I don't know how to put that seatbelt on.
That's okay. You don't need to. There's some people waiting for a turn too, so
They are?
yeah, you don't want to take too long.
Well, those other people take it.
So it's the cockpit of an F4 Phantom, and apparently they used this as kind of like a movie prop or a TV show prop. There was a show in the 80s called Call to Glory, and whenever they would film an in-cockpit scene, they would use this prop here. So pretty neat. Yeah. Yeah, they don't let you go in that one. They just you can kind of peek in and take a look at the buttons and stuff in there. All right. Now this is a plane that doesn't need any introduction. So it's the SR-71 Blackbird. That was another one of those really cool ones. one of the ones I loved growing up was the Blackbird. And there was actually a G.I. Joe toy airplane that was modeled after the Blackbird, and I remember getting that for Christmas one year.
Daddy, look at where the cafeteria is.
For its time, the Blackbird was absolutely just outmatched everything. Remember, no running. It absolutely outmatched everything. It flew higher, it flew faster. There wasn't a missile or plane or anything that could even catch it. And it's really interesting. Just the friction on the plane itself would end up making the body of the plane completely, elongate. It would change the frame size of it as it was flying. And then when they landed and it was sitting on the ground, it would cool down, and it used to just leak fuel and oil and everything. And then once it was in the air, all that friction heat would elongate that body, and all those little holes and leaks would seal up. So it was really interesting. Okay, so yeah, did we already see this part over here? I don't know if we did or not. Let's go look. It's a Mark 53 thermonuclear bomb. So it looks like that they came around with that one in the early 60s. Ooh, that's a big bomb.
Can I show you guys something?
Yeah, let's go look, bub. Good heavens, look at all that. That's what it looks like on the inside of an airplane before they put all those metal panels on there. That's one of those Korean War sabers. Oh, you can actually look down in this one. Hello! 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 Pretty neat. That is a Mark 6 nuclear weapon from 1949. So it is a little bit bigger than that Fat Man bomb that was dropped on Japan. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, it's big scary business. Oh, what do we got over here? XF-90. Looks like this thing has seen better days. Oh, well, looks like this little airplane buddy crashed, bub. Remains of the only XF-90 prototype fighter of the 50s. Oh, okay. XF-90.
Yeah,
test subject. Oh, it was this was a test subject for a nuclear blast. Oh, Geiger counter. All right. So this plane here that we're looking at, it didn't actually crash. Even better, they tested nuclear weapons on it, so to see what it would do to them. Interesting. So let's get out of here before we grow an extra arm.
Okay, hi guys. So we're gonna leave the airplane part of it, and we're gonna go to the like the space and the rocket ship part of it.
Yeah, we've got some nuclear warheads going on here now.
And the door was in brick. And about 20 missiles each spot. And they weren't in silos, they were actually above ground. What used two types? We used two different liquids. One was the fuel, which is something like kerosene. But the other thing was something to oxidize, which is usually liquid oxygen. Now, if you're liquid oxygen, that's something incredibly cold. You couldn't leave the missile.
Yeah, bub.
Is there any rocket ship cockpits?
I don't know. We'll have to look, pal. It doesn't go all the way to the top.
I know, can we go up there?
I don't know what it is about these ICBMs, but they're just, I know they're all deactivated, but man, these things are just so creepy. Just knowing, like, I mean, you could annihilate a chunk of the planet with just one of these things. Creepy. I don't know, even being on the second floor, these things are just absolutely huge.
Daddy, I think I found a way for us to find more cockpits.
Maybe. I think that's where we just came from, though. Pretty neat. Yeah, this is one that you can go inside.
Let's go inside, guys.
All right, let's check out this space shuttle. It's a lot. That's the most buttons we've seen in any of them so far, huh? A lot of buttons everywhere.
How do they enter this place?
Now, there's a little door that they climb in. Yeah. All right, head on out.
Well, I bet the the people that watch our YouTube channel.
I don't know, Bob. We'll have to look around and see if there's another cockpit someplace. So we're getting more into the space section here. Oh, very nice. All right. This is the Mercury spacecraft. So these are the first. This was the first space program that got Americans into the whole space race. Alan Shepard was the first, and then John Glenn. John Glenn, he's actually from Ohio.
Let's go see.
I'm not sure whose one this was. Let's see. Okay, so this is just a production one. This one actually never flew. Neat. Yeah. Yeah, and this is the Gemini. This was the second space program that we did. So this one, I believe, this one's on loan from the Smithsonian. So this one here was actually used in space.
So this thing has been in space.
It's been in space, girl. It was in space for several days. Pretty neat.
I never knew.
This has got to be like the silly looking aircraft section. Look at these silly looking airplanes. This one has the biggest nose in the entire world.
And what's this one? The fat.
Yeah, that one's got a little fat tummy, huh? Well, I have no idea what this is. A NASA plane, apparently.
Look.
Yeah, well, there's some show about it. I'm not sure. Let's go look at the sign. Let's see what the sign says about it. Looks like a pretty mean engine. Oh, okay. XLR-99 rocket engine. Oh, that's the engine. I wonder if that's the engine that can't be the engine that goes on this thing. I don't know. Okay. X-15A2 hypersonic research aircraft. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So when they were getting these things, when they were trying to make the fastest that they possibly could get these airplanes, this was one of the ones that they used.
By God, we weren't going to let them beat us to the moon, too. 20 July 1969, a small step for man, giant leap for mankind. And then almost exactly 2 years after that,
Little boy.
hardware.
Apollo 15. Pretty neat. It's cool to think that thing was, it's the service module. So it's the only, out of that giant Saturn V rocket, that's the only part that ever makes it back to Earth. So it's pretty cool to think that thing was 250,000 miles away, you know, a few decades ago, orbiting the moon, waiting for the astronauts on the surface to return to it. So pretty cool. I love moon stuff. I love space stuff. Yeah, there's a bunch of them in here. So we're actually heading into the presidential section of this, and it's really neat because hang on. Yeah, this is the exit. We have to go up that other staircase over there. It's neat. There's a whole bunch of Air Force Ones here from past United States presidents, so it's pretty cool. I know, like, Roosevelt's is here. I know Kennedy's is here. So there's a lot of, I believe Eisenhower's plane is here as well, so it's pretty cool. So we'll check them out here. Go ahead and go on up. Yep, so this is President Franklin Delano Roosevelt's.
Is he our president?
Well, he was one of our presidents. He's been gone for a long time now, but this was his airplane that he would fly around in the world. So pretty cool. It's another one of those things that are not meant for tall people.
There's a two-person bed. And
Yeah, the little bunks.
And look, there's a kitchen. I wonder if there's a bathroom anywhere.
Yeah, a little galley here. I'm sure there's a bathroom in here somewhere. Some extra fuel tanks for long journeys. Yeah, here's some chairs that the president would sit at.
Dad, where'd you go? Oh, there you
It
go.
is very tight fit in here. Oh yeah, pretty neat.
We can still touch the button. Actually, I thought we could still touch the button.
Well, pretty neat. There's his one of his little meeting rooms there. So pretty cool. Roosevelt's plane. Probably back there is the bathroom. Yeah, and then some extra seating here. And I'm guessing this just goes down into the cargo hold, I guess. Pretty cool. So yeah, that was Franklin Roosevelt's plane. So let's go check out some other ones here and see what other interesting airplanes there are. I guess it's just neat knowing that that was like the president's airplane, and that's where they traveled around in, and even during like some crisis times, you know, being in that airplane. So I mean, it's pretty neat. All right, so this is Truman's airplane. So I guess it came right after Roosevelt's. So for Truman, yeah, Truman, he's actually the one that gave the order to drop the bombs on Japan to end the war. And also he took over for Roosevelt when Roosevelt died in office.
There's oxygen tanks. There's oxygen.
Yeah, well, there was the president was in this airplane, so they always would take extra special care to make sure everything was ready in case of an emergency.
Where's the president's DNA?
There's already on
Cards.
There's the bathroom. All right.
Cards.
Yeah, they'd probably sit around and play cards to pass the time.
Let me play solitaire. I'm gonna play. Now that just reminded me. I'm gonna play
Yeah.
solitaire on my tablet. Let it count.
Yeah, probably just regular seating for press corps and whatever. Neat. Oh, that's cool. They got a.
You have to back out? Yeah.
They got a. Come back. Come back this way, guys. Little traffic jam.
I would not like.
All right, it's Eisenhower's Air Force One. His airplane.
That's what the width is.
Careful.
That's why it's a please use the hand.
Yeah, be careful.
There.
So even with Eisenhower, these were still prop planes. The jet technology had been invented, but they apparently didn't feel they needed to use it quite yet. Interesting. Yeah. There's a cockpit here. All right. Interesting. Interesting. All right. High 1950s technology, guys.
Debbie, Mayor.
All right. Here, wait. Go ahead, Bubba.
It says please use the handles on the sides of the seat.
Yep, so use the rails so you don't slip and fall. All right.
Watch your head while I'm trying to. I don't need to.
Yeah, very neat.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting.
Whoa, it's an airplane with a bunch of. Whoa. This is the more high.
Yeah,
Please do not touch the aircraft. What's the aircraft?
yeah.
What's the aircraft? What are they talking about?
The airplane? It's called an aircraft.
Oh, well, I'm touching it. I'm like, well, I'm touching it.
Yeah, come look in here. Well, after Kennedy got shot, they moved a bunch of these chairs out of the way so they could carry his casket home with them in the plane itself instead of in the cargo hold.
Yeah. Right here, right? Yeah.
Here. This is where he was.
Wow.
Right here.
That's pretty cool.
Where's the...
Just to look at chairs.
Neat. It's like a big time capsule.
I don't see it.
Just to look at chairs.
Because I know they removed a bunch of these seats.
Yeah.
Oh, telephone. I thought telephone, and then you're like,
I think it was further back.
No. These 4 seats right here were removed. And that's what Kennedy was taking back.
Yeah.
All right, fresh air. Yeah, so I don't know if you heard me in there. That last little section there, after Kennedy was shot in Dallas and passed away, to be respectful, they didn't want to put his casket down into the cargo hold of the plane, so they removed a number of seats there towards the tail section of the plane to fit his casket on there. So just being respectful. So, but that was Kennedy's Air Force One, and it was with him in Dallas when he was shot, and it's what carried his his remains home when they brought him back. So
Lego kit.
I'm sure
I'm getting the Lego kit.
I'm sure there's probably Lego kits. So, we gotta get outside before we melt, huh, guys? It's gonna be so cold outside. All right, no trip to the Museum of the Air Force is complete without going into the gift shop. And if you're into anything military or anything, this is the place to check out. Oh man, so many cool little things here. Yeah. What's that, bub? All right, we got out of the gift shop without doing too much damage, so but we're all done. Let's go ahead and head on back to the car, guys.
I'm gonna get the microscope.
Oh, okay.
I'm already opening it.
Somebody's ringing some bells somewhere, huh?
I also remember hearing
Right.
singing. I also remember I remember hearing singing when we were walking inside. Can I walk on this?
Well, you're not supposed to, but I'm sure that these people, I'm sure that they won't mind. I got a memorial for all those we lost. Help sergeants. All right, so that was Valor Park. It's dedicated to the United States Air Force Medal of Honor recipients. That's neat. So all those folks in there, they all received medals of honor for being very, very brave in very, very dangerous situations. Ha! Hells Angels 303 bomb group. That's interesting. That is some actually interesting motorcycle history, motorcycle club history. Is the Hells Angels, they were all flyers. Well, the original ones, they came back. Most of them were previously aviators, and they were looking for that speed. They were looking for that rush that they had when they were flying in these airplanes at hundreds of miles an hour. So they started these motorcycle clubs to kind of, you know, give them, kind of scratch that itch for them, I guess. But that was some of their earlier history. I'm by no means a motorcycle club expert, but I do remember reading that about Hell's Angels. Well, guys, that was the Museum of the United States Air Force here at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. I'll plop a little link down in the description below. Did you guys have fun?
Yes.
All right, good deal. Well, we got a little short ride home, and then that'll conclude this episode. So be sure, do you want to go ahead and do the...
And be sure to smash that subscribe button and also like this video.
All right, thanks for watching, you all.
Like it.
You gotta like the video. So spread it around.
No.
All right, but until next time, you all, thanks for watching.